All right, Shalom. First, I start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of will, and salutations to the brothers that store the truth and sincerity. This is Missouri under state of emergency due to dangerous flooding. So I'm going to go ahead and press play on this video and then add some precepts.
We begin with a flood emergency in southeastern Missouri, hit by more than a foot of rain today, with more rain expected over the weekend. Dozens had to be rescued from rushing floodwaters, and for several hours, a group of campers was missing, but they're all safe and sound tonight. Missouri is not facing this rain threat alone. More than 20 million people in at least 14 states from Colorado to Pennsylvania are under flood watches through tomorrow. Meteorologist Rob Marciano leads us off tonight with powerful images from the flood zone.
An early morning deluge in the Show Me State, turning streets into rivers, campgrounds into waterways, and sending people scrambling for higher ground.
The way that current was going, it was going to hit it from the side there.
Campgrounds throughout the state evacuated. This group of campers standing on the roof of vehicles. In Reynolds County, south of St. Louis, emergency responders conducted more than 90 water rescues. The flash flooding posing a danger to first responders, too.
That's scary. No.
This video appears to show state highway patrol officers abandoning their boat after it struck a submerged power line. Authorities say they're still searching for people after a building collapsed. The number of missing could fluctuate in the coming days. The sudden burst of rain overtaking this dam in Missouri's Black River. An aerial view shows a widespread flooding across the river's banks. The flooding has led to several road closures, and the water is reaching the rooftops of some homes. The National Weather Service has declared flash flooding in multiple states.
The water's just going to keep coming up. You got to come out.
Body cam footage showed the moment rescuers helped a resident escape through a car window as floodwaters continued to rise in New Jersey Thursday. Officials continued to warn residents to seek higher ground immediately. The governor of Missouri declaring a state of emergency and urging residents to stay vigilant. The water is still high, and now we've got a severe weather threat on top of what they've had today. So let's get right to the maps and show you where that is. Flood warning remains in effect for Annapolis because of that high water, over 12 inches of it falling in spots, and water rescues possibly ongoing there, with this severe weather threat coming in for the northern part of the state. That watch is in effect until 9 o'clock, and that flood watch stretches all the way through the Ohio River Valley, some of which has been extended into Sunday morning. Tomorrow, the threat for severe weather is in southeast Missouri, through the heartland, Paducah, Louisville, Evansville, damaging winds, large hail, and yes, some flash flooding. Meanwhile, the heat's the real deal. With all this water, another 2 to 5 inches potentially across the Tennessee Valley. Extreme heat warnings continue across the southeast, including Charleston, and look at the northern Rockies. Extreme heat warnings there, with temperatures getting up and over 100 degrees tomorrow, potentially seeing all-time record-breaking highs in places like Billings, potentially as high as 111. That is some major, dangerous heat. Major?
Rob Marciano, thank you so much.
All right. So they haven't announced if anybody has passed due to this flooding. But, this is now becoming the new norm for these weather events to happen and people to die by it, until the Lord returns, man. There's nothing new, or there's not going to be a change in climate change. The world will only continue to get worse, man. So I'm going to start with this Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Right, that's the time we're in. We're in the time, the ending of Esau's kingdom. So the Lord is bringing them down by way of prophecies. What the scriptures say, I'm thinking of another precept, but declaring the end from the beginning. All this was prophesied before our time, and now it's happening in our time. And then yet more prophecies that need to happen. That's going to happen in the time when these times end. In the kingdom of heaven. And then we'll receive a whole lot more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about how things work in the kingdom of heaven, man. So we living in the best times that you can be living in, even though that they are the worst times that you can ever live in as well. But this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. See, there's a lot of death going on. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And America was planted through the Lord by his people being enslaved. And now this place is being plucked up by way of Bible prophecy. Verse 3, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep. There's a lot of weeping going on. There's a lot of mourning going on. The scriptures, like the scripture said, the book is written with lamentation, mourning, and woe. It's not all joy, happy kingdom of heaven vibes in the scriptures, man. It says a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Right, man? So we're in a time of mourning. We're not in a time of dancing. All this joy and such that's going on over here in America will soon cease, like it has done in the Middle Eastern countries, in Africa and in Asia, or so-called Africa and so-called Asia. This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 10. And he spread it verse 9. Let's start verse 8. Not verse 7. It says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, unto the Israelites, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. So our people are supposed to know the truth, man, but they will not hear the truth. But we still supposed to tell them whether they want to hear it or not. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. That's the scriptures. You're supposed to eat and understand the scriptures and then go and teach your people. And be careful not to go off on the precepts and correct when you go off. It says, and when I looked, behold, and hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. That's the Bible. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentation and mourning and woe. And that's what the scriptures consist of. It's not all happy, joy. This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. And they look like Edomites are the ones that's being jacked up in these clips. And it, might have a few jakes around that want to live amongst the Edomites. But the Edomites got to pay for what they have done in slavery, man. The Lord not allowing them to get away with this. And the Lord is visiting them. The Lord, them curses are applying to them now, just as well as the heathen nation, and we're being blessed because we have this truth, and the blessings, which the word blessed means to kneel, we're going to be blessed in the kingdom of heaven, man. But our captivity is coming to an end by way of these events. A lamentation, what is it? Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Edom represents the so-called white man that dwelleth in the land of Uz. Uz is America. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, that cup of slavery. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Right, our punishment and our captivity is coming to an end right now, you know. He will no more carry thee away into captivity, and we're not going to ever be taken down again and go into captivity under no nation. And that's for the blacks, Native Americans. There will not be any heathen that will rise up in the kingdom of heaven to take us down. All the curses will be off of us, man, and be upon our enemies, and the world will be set back, ruled in righteousness like how it's supposed to, like it used to be in the ancient world. And everything will be back in its proper order, because the Lord made the world and made everything to abide under his law and his ways, and he made his people to be the same way. You know, the curses came upon us by way of Adam and Eve and the woman going off, which is the Lord program, and now the curses are being lifted up off of us, and righteousness is being reestablished again, man. And it's going to be a forever thing. It says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins, right? Y'all sins is being uncovered before the world, and y'all being judged right before the world's eyes. You know, I'm walking. I don't know if you brothers are experiencing this as well, but lately, the so-called Arabs, the Ishmaelites, have been more liking unto at least me. They don't know about other Negroes, but you know they have the spirit of being against this Edomite white man and being more for the black man. That's the spirit I'm seeing upon them now, and you know, yeah, they ready to do something about this Edomite white man, and wanting to be more cool with the black man. And that's just the vibe I keep picking up. Even their women, more acceptant of you know, the black man, so to speak, you know. But yeah, that being said, man, I'm gonna have to end it, man. Those are some quick, keep everybody up to date with these prophecies, you know, because a lot of see, we don't make these videos. These videos are not being made in vain, no matter how small or what's going on, because every day, I mean, every time it happens, if it's not, it's world breaking, and it's something new happening somewhere that it never has happened before. They just had an earthquake somewhere in Illinois or Chicago, right around the Chicago area, which that's not normal. An earthquake right around the Chicago area. That's how you know things are really changing in the U.S. right now, you know. But yeah, man. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it, man. Call all your Habashim Shai, call all your Habashim Shai, Bashim Kakadar, step honors to the elders and apostles of the will, and salutations to the brothers and still in truth and sincerity. Shalom.